Hello, everybody. This is Off the Top Sportscast. I'm John. That's Roy. Welcome for a special edition. We're going to do State of the Team. We're going to take an NFL team and we're going to talk about the state of it thus far this season. I think we should start with the Miami Dolphins. It is week four just passed. We all know that week three, they went for 70 points against the Denver Broncos. And then week four came down to earth a little bit more. Roy, what do you think about the Dolphins-Buffalo game?
Again, we first started with the Denver game. I think people were a little overzealous that this would have been the team that's going to the NFL championship, go to the Super Bowl just by that one game. They weren't thinking they're playing Denver, right? Yeah. Now you're playing with some stiff competition. You're playing with what is considered a championship team, right? A potential contender this year. So right. I think the reality hit the fan. Do you say they're washed up? They're no good? No, I don't say that. They got some pieces that I would love on Buffalo, right? But I think they're over. What do you could say? What's the word? Is maybe they're
inflated.
They're inflated. Good one. They're showing some good signs, but I think when certain teams figure them out, I think they're coming out a little flat. That's my point of view right now on certain aspects. Mm-hmm. They got some zeros, but they got some heroes on that team too.
Sure. I think it was funny because we got to take their season as a whole, right? So when you look at their season, they played the Chargers first. That was a close game.
Yep.
Okay. The second game was New England. That was a good game. It wasn't, watching the game, the score might have been closer than the actual game was. The game never felt in question. It was never in doubt. But New England gave them a good run. Defensively, they had a good scheme. Denver had nothing for them, right? So when we break down the three teams that they played before Buffalo, you had a high-powered offense because the Chargers can score with anybody. You had New England, who will take out what New England is for right now, and we'll just tell you that they are a division opponent that sees Miami twice a year, every year. That's always going to be difficult. Add in the fact, one of the greatest coaches of all time, that makes it more difficult. And add the fact that that's what they do is defense, it's even more difficult. Denver's none of those things. They're not a high-powered offense, and they never play Miami. So they really got caught flat-footed. Those players never saw the speed, never dealt with anything like that. So that's where the 70 points I felt came from.
Yeah, I agree. And I kind of, when you broke it down, right, Chargers, good team, good quarterback. Then you went to, they played the
Patriots.
Again, I think we give the Patriots too much. They're living on the past. That's my personal opinion. Yeah. Yes, Belichick, yes, good. But really, if you take Belichick out of it and just the aura of New England, and you just said, well, this is another team, you would be like, they should have won.
Right. They're actually, if you think about it, they're living off of coaching.
Of course.
Where you can say Miami has a good coach, but they're living off of talent right now.
They're living off of talent. And the coach. The coach is a nice young coach. But where I think if we look at Miami right now, they're a good team. Where I think they're, you go, well, are they going to be lacking on their running back game? I don't think so. Yeah, they fumbled. They fumbled some fumbles. Yeah, great. But I'm not going to – they got some good runners. Hey, are you going to say their wide receiver core? You're going to say that's weak? I don't say that. Say that. Tua, you know what? If you were to say some of the teams look at Tua and go, hey, would I take Tua over Baker Mayfield? Would I take him over Who else out there? What I'm trying to think where I take him out there.
Oh,
Ridley. Would I take him over Ridley in Atlanta? Would I take him over? Who's the
Ritter.
quarterback? What's that?
He's Desmond Ritter. Yeah.
Ritter. I mean,
No,
excuse me, Ritter.
there's more. There's more quarterbacks. There's less quarterbacks you would not take him for.
That's right. But
And
now,
even those teams, you put Tua on there, they're going to look different, but they'll probably still be effective. You
yes,
know?
yeah, yeah. And the thing is this: I think they came against a team that really is a contender, is an upper echelon team. Right now, still, if you look at the Chargers, they're below Buffalo,
Yes.
and then the other two teams are way below. The other two teams are below the Chargers. So
Oh yeah.
really, this was the first matchup that they got punched in the jaw. And reality is, we're not as good as we think we are. Buffalo is as good as they're the real deal. They're the real
Well,
deal.
I'll tell you this. As Buffalo fans, I try to be objective, like what I'm seeing out there.
Mhm.
I think this. I think one is that Miami had the top scoring offense, right, in the league, helped, of course, by that 70 points that Denver gave up. Buffalo was number 2 in scoring offense before that game. So they weren't playing number 17 offense, Miami was something like 20 something in defense or 17 in defense, something like that. Buffalo was number 2 in defense. We were number 1 in a lot of categories, but I think we were just edged out by the 49ers. I might be wrong. We might have been number 1. The point to that is we're a complete team. And what we did on Sunday was a complete game. Offensively, we ran the ball. We threw the ball short. We threw the ball deep. We threw it to our tight ends. We got yards after the catch. And our quarterback got yards with his feet.
That's
He
big.
didn't take sacks. He didn't give up interceptions. What other offensive category could we have even done? I don't even think there's even one. Defensively, we played the run as good as you can play it, right? We played the pass well, and we got to the quarterback. What else was there to do on defense?
Yeah.
Special teams, we pinned them way deep on that punt, and we covered punts really well this week. I mean, that was a full game. And Miami was missing a little something there because they hadn't played a complete team yet. And I think that's what they ran into.
I think we stopped the secondary, stopped the receivers. So now they had to run. They had some good holes. They had some good runs. But if you become very linear, I'm only running or I'm throwing. If you don't have a balance, that's it. We were getting to the quarterback. And the little runs they broke something every now and then. They broke something off. But again, we were collapsing on it. And what happened? Some fumbles happened right there. We saw that. We saw them getting to Tua. So where I think Miami still needs is, again, they could be a year to 2 years away. I think they need to build up a little bit their defense. And you may not like it, some Miami fans. I don't think Tua's it. I don't think Tua's too legit to quit. I think we need another. I think Miami needs another quarterback, a big time quarterback. I personally think that's what they need. Someone taller that can stand taller in the pocket. Think about it. He's barely looking over the offensive lineman and defensive lineman. That's where I think. And Mark, when I tell you, that's going to be somebody they may be looking to move. And not this year, they're going to ride it. Next year, I guarantee if they don't go nowhere, if they just make the play 1 and out, they're going to start talking about Tua's replacement in year 3. Because they can't do nothing this year. They're going to they're going to talk about it next year, and they're going to do it on 3. And in that time, bad to say, That's when coaches get changed. That's when players get disgruntled. And what happens? They never fulfill. They got to stick with the coach. They got to get better defensively, and they got to change the quarterback. That's my feelings. I think Tua is a thumb down for me.
Well, I think he's working for what they want to do, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Is that going to be successful? That's yet to be seen. But I will say that I think what we show too, is that the most important part that the Buffalo Bills have right now is depth. We are a deep team. We rotate in and out defensive guys. We got 9 guys, and they can all go. When we're rushing a quarterback, we're rushing them with 4. That means we can stay back and defend everything else and just let those guys go in. When one of those guys goes down, there's a replacement. Our offensive line right now is playing beautifully, but we have replacements for them. We have on our bench a guy who won the Super Bowl with the Rams, and he's on our bench. That's depth on offensive line. Tre'Davious White was a huge blow when he went down. It hurt me. I didn't want. That was the worst thing I saw all weekend. But we slid another corner in. We have a corner that's inactive, and we're going to bring him up. Who's a number 1 draft pick, Kyrie Elam.
Listen, we are Buffalo Bills fans. We know that. We could talk about, but we could break it down. But when it comes to Miami, the bottom line is they lost when they had their name Buffalo Bills on the schedule.
And the game changed all the way around when they lost Armstead, their left tackle. And that's not going to change next week when they have to play whoever they have to play. That guy's still going to be out. That means you got a big gaping hole right behind Tua. And that's a real bad for a quarterback that's known for concussions.
Yeah, so, and again, I think this was Waddle's first game back. If I remember, he was out. So again, a lot of problems. Guys, this is our time. We wanted to make it a quick little, guys, support our channel, Off the Top Sports. We're going to have conversations. You're going to just hear 2 guys talking about sports. Look at our YouTube, look at our Facebook. We're going to have some little different rants and raves as we go along. We're going to break down different things. But guys, we're just trying to start. So please help us get to at least 25 followers. Follow us, subscribe to our channel. And again, stay tuned because you're going to have more from Off the Top.
All right, guys, that was the first State of the Team version of the Off the Top podcast for the Miami Dolphins. We'll come back and do another team next time. Have a good one.